You ready, Desmond?
All right, this is a minute agenda of Henry County Board of Ethics meeting. Today is Tuesday, August 13th, 2024. The time is now 20 minutes after 6. We'll keep roll call. District 1, Ethel McConnell.
Present.
District 2, Craig Simmons, Vice Chair. District 3, Lauren B. Smith.
Present.
District 4, Felicia Harrell.
Present.
District 5, myself, Desmond McClain, Chair, virtual. Tax Commissioners appointees, Cynthia Cornott.
Present.
Antonio Taylor. And Clerk of Superior Courts, selected members, they are vacant. We will go to our next meeting. Our next agenda item is board vote on approval of meeting minutes for 7/9/24. Can I get a motion to approve those minutes? Did I hear it?
I make the motion to approve those meeting minutes.
Motion by Smith. Can I get a second?
A second.
Portal, all in favor? Straight, are there any opposers?
There are none.
Moving to our next item, general updates by our ethics administrator.
Hi, good evening, Chair, good evening, Board. I just have 4 quick updates for you guys today. So our NAVX virtual training will be ready for implementation in about 4 to 5 weeks. They are, we've already chosen the courses. They are working on getting everything together, so we should be able to launch in about 4 to 5 weeks and go live with that. Does anybody have any questions on that? Next update. So our Superior Court alternates, those seats are currently vacant. I notified Ms. Clerk Hill on the 22nd of March that her 2 alternates needed to be replaced due to one of resignation and the other being appointed to one of the District 4 seats. The last email I received from Ms. Hill was May 13th, saying she was vetting applicants and would notify me once she had made selections. I've never heard back from Ms. Hill. I sent a follow-up email on July 2nd, and as of today, I have not heard from Ms. Hill at all. We're going on about 5 months now from the first communication back in March, for her, notifying her that we needed the 2 alternates replaced. And as of right now, I have not heard anything back on that. So I don't have any replacements yet. And so I don't know if maybe Chair would like to be included in an email to reach out to her. And maybe see if that can kind of get the ball rolling. Because I mean, it's going on 5 months now.
I will say on record, I was, the Superior Court reached out to me, the Clerk of Superior Court reached out to me and asked if I could speak to the possible candidates about what it means to be an alternate, just to understand the position. But after speaking with the ethics administrator, I was told to have them directed back to you, which I did. And I haven't, and I didn't speak with the clerk to tell her that. I spoke with, because one of the alternates, both actually reached out to me, and I told them both to contact you.
And they did.
Okay.
And I explained, answered any questions that they had, but as of yet,
No one's been chosen.
I have not, been notified by the clerk of Superior Court that there has been a decision made on 2 alternates. Does anybody have any questions about that, or?
So it sounds like there are at least candidates in.
I mean, that's according to the clerk.
In
She
the
said
running.
she was vetting them. Like May 13th is when she told me she was vetting.
Okay, yes, I think that we should definitely have the chair reach out as well with you copied on it, since you're the main point of contact, to see if we can get some traction on getting these seats filled.
Okay. My third update is, so, we had our first hearing, dates, and we kind of learned a lot, as far as what we need to do going forward. we did, Breezy and I had a conversation and we realized that it would be beneficial for us to hire a court reporter. So I did reach out and received a quote from Elizabeth Gallo Court Reporting. And it's as follows. So the first hour is gonna be $230. Every hour after that is $110 an hour. The transcripts is $6.25 per page. Exhibits up to 20 pages is $7.50 total. If there's more than 20 pages of exhibits, then it'll be 50 cents per page thereafter. So just kind of an estimate to give the board an idea of what it would cost for one hearing. So let's say we have a 4-hour hearing. The cost for the 4-hour hearing for the court reporter would be $160. If we have a 50-page transcript with 20 exhibits, that's gonna cost $320. So for a total for that 4-hour hearing with transcripts and everything would cost about $880. And that's like I said, it's just an estimate so the board kind of gets an idea of what we would be spending from our budget.
Gigi, can you repeat that?
Yes,
You
ma'am.
said per page is how much?
Yes, so per page for the transcripts, it's per page is $6.25. Exhibits are up to 20 exhibits. It's $7.50. But yeah, so for a 4-hour hearing, you know, with
Got
a 50-page, estimated 50-page transcript and 20 exhibits, for 4 hours, it would total about $880. And that's what we would have to come out of budget for, you know, every hearing that we have, if it's around 4 hours a piece.
Thank you.
Any questions on that?
I have questions.
Yes, ma'am.
Is this a local court reporter that works in a courthouse here, houses here?
No. So I did reach out to, one of the court reporters, that works in the Superior Court. I'm waiting to hear back from her. I haven't heard back from her as of yet. This is actually a court reporter that's been used a lot in the courts when there has to be like that court reporter sick or out. They've used her a lot. So that's just kind of why, you know, it's somebody that has been trusted with the courts.
So 2 questions. One, can we get some additional quotes? Because
Absolutely.
true to my cheap self, I feel like I need them. 2, if we're gonna have hearings often, is it more cost effective to perhaps hire a part-time?
I mean, we don't have in our budget to hire somebody part-time. Or,
Go ahead. No,
like to have them on staff.
well, perhaps, or it's almost like a virtual assistant in a sense, where it is maybe on a contract, like maybe if we give them like 3 hearings for the price of XYZ, like a set of hearings, basically a negotiated rate that benefits them, but also saves us money, gives them an opportunity to do court reporting on multiple hearings, which gives them more employment opportunities, but it allows us to save money.
I can see about that.
I've worked with Elizabeth Gallo on multiple occasions. They're good. My only hesitation there would be the turnaround time of making sure that we have an established expectation for them to get our transcripts back to us. The price, I think, is going to be pretty close to industry standard, but I would also like to see at least 1 or 2 additional quotes. For me, preferably someone local, just because of the time involved of them getting down here, et cetera.
I will try to get 2 or 3 more quotes from some local. And also hopefully I'll get them from the one that I contacted through the boards and see what that. Hopefully I'll get. Any more questions on that? So the last update I have is just county events. So it's almost time for the trunk or treat on the square. We participated in that last year and that was a lot of fun. That's on October 25th from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. on the square. But we also have another option this year. We have the option to participate in the Public Safety's Henry's Night Out, the trunk or treat at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. That's on, Saturday, October twenty-sixth, from 5 to 8 p.m. So the board can decide which one you want us to participate in, because the trunk or treat on the square, the trick or treat on the square is Friday, October twenty-fifth. From 2 to 5. The trunk or treat at Atlanta Motor Speedway for the Henry Night Out is Saturday, October twenty-sixth, from 5 to 9, from 5 to 8. So it's up to the board which one they want us to participate in this year.
So if,
Yeah, let's try to do it on that. Let's try to do it on that Saturday, because on that Friday, I think the last time they had the trunk or treat, it was, everybody couldn't get there. At least for this Saturday, at least we can just kind of modify our plans. So everybody participate, that would be good.
This Saturday. So for that, we are gonna need,
more discussion. My religious beliefs won't allow me to, so I'm just joking. I just say, hey, are we paying you overtime for Saturday? And then it is within budget on Friday? Then I say you work on Friday and not on Saturday.
We're always on.
Okay.
I think for us, I think exposure wise, we don't necessarily have to have the board there. I know Gigi and I was able to hold it down. I mean, pretty much by ourselves. We had some board members that came and helped out. That's good for optics. But I know the board had concerns about getting more visibility for us. And I think in order to do that, we will probably need the larger event on that Saturday. And the board is welcome to come if you're available, but I'm pretty sure Gigi and I can hold it down.
Yeah, I mean, whoever wants, anybody from the board that wants to volunteer and come help us give out candy, that'd be great. I mean, we'd love to have you guys there, get your faces out there as well, just like us, and that'd be awesome. We just need to decorate a trunk. So,
What do you give?
and have candy.
And have candy, but I think if you all, especially since we've been unable to do some of the things that we talked about, like the next door and things of that nature. I mean, for it to be at the Speedway is obviously going to be a huge event, and I think that will probably give us much more visibility.
Yeah, it's a very, it is a bigger event because it's a Henry Night Out, so like the fire department is there, the police department is there, the sheriff's office is there, 911 is there. And then other like local businesses sign up as well to do it. So it is a bigger event than spring. So, I guess, me and Teresa can hold that down if we need to. But if board members would like to come and help us give out some candy, that'd be great as well. But then we'll go with the Saturday. Henry Night Out. That's all I had for my updates. That's all I had.
Thank you.
Our next agenda on the agenda is the general updates by our ethics officer, Attorney Brew.
Good afternoon, evening, board. I have very few updates for the board. Just an update to give you all, let you all know about the training. We continue to do those in-person trainings with the new employees. Since the last time we met, we've trained 29 new employees that have come in by way of new hires through HR. So that will continue. Gloria gave you all the other update about the cases or the classes being selected. So that's moving towards our training as it relates to our virtual. And that's the only update I have for you tonight. Did you all have any questions about training or otherwise?
I thought on the agenda am I wrong? Upcoming cases, or were we not discussing that tonight?
The agenda.
I don't know why, not on the agenda, but I thought on the presentation that I saw by email, it showed upcoming cases. Am I wrong?
No, it's not made in an old.
Maybe it was the older one.
Do we have any updates on future?
Upcoming.
Yes, so we have some updates on the matters that got rescheduled. The Clemens case has been rescheduled for October the 4th. October the 10th, sorry.
And that's gonna be at the community room, the administration building. And then 2022 EB2, John Dover's, Roca Romero Muniz is scheduled for October the 8th, 9:30 a.m. In the same location at the community room, the administration building.
Already.
And I will be sending out calendar updates. I just have not had my computer since Thursday. I just got it back.
And then when it comes to the cases and the hearings, I know, with us having the first of hearings, I would ask the hearing officer to give the board some feedback on what could be done more efficiently or what not. We did talk about time limitations for myself as the ethics officer as well as the respondent. It is his opinion that 1 hour per side should be sufficient. However, the board should be open where if there is a case with an abnormal circumstance, either side can petition the board for more time if needed. So the default could be 1 hour for the ethics officer, 1 hour for the respondent. And if anything needs to be done, that's more than that, you must petition the board for pre-authorization to have extended time. That may help with the cost of the court reporter. We did talk about a court reporter as well. I asked Gloria to see about the court reporter specifically because it's very hard for me to write orders and try to recall what was said and pay attention to what I'm doing. So I think if we have a limitation that may help cut the cost. I think her quote was for 4 hours, so cut what I have. That would be the cost for that particular person. He also mentioned that he thought it would be a great idea to figure out some way to do a live feed in the courthouse. We are trying to figure that out because using the courthouse, you're subject to their rules and regulations, including their technology. And if the county is unable to provide us with someone from tech to come work with their technology, I do not believe they're gonna allow our person to come work with county technology. So that may require us moving or trying to figure out how we can be creative, but the hearing officer did indicate it may be as simple as finding a phone and propping it up and hitting live. It may not have to be as extravagant.
So I did reach out to Melissa Robinson. She's kind of like the director over their streaming services. And I did explain to her the situation, budget. So she said she was going to speak with the county manager to see if it's possible for our IT people to come in, be shown how to work the equipment and take it from there. Because the reasoning is that we can't use the system that's already in there is because they say that they only have 4 people in their IT department and that person would have to be at, you know, that computer or whatever running it the whole time and they don't have the manpower. So I did mention, you know, we do have our own IT people. They are willing to, obviously, it's gonna cost a little bit extra, but if they can run it, then that'll be helpful for us in the long run. So the cameras and microphones that we're gonna use, you know, maybe 2 or 3 times a year. So I'm waiting to hear back from her. I spoke with her on Thursday. So she was gonna get with the county manager and see if, she said she doesn't see that there will be a problem doing that, but she has to run that by the county manager and make sure that that is okay to do.
So that as it relates to one of the suggestions about having it live stream. And he also said he thought that was important because that allows the board to deliberate in the jury room. So you're not sitting right there looking at the people. It will still be live per the sunshine law, but then you're able to at least go in a separate room.
Yeah, that was really awful. I mean, just the table, just.
How we were back, like
Go back, yeah.
raised
So
and
that could help fix that problem. We should definitely have some clarity and direction on how to do that before the October hearing.
When you said an hour each, I'm going back, how does that work? Because you had like your opening statement, is that not included in the hour?
It is included.
But then it's like kind of ping pong back and forth, and so it's like someone keeping track of.
It will probably be Gloria. She'll probably be up there keeping track of how much time each person has used. And that it's not abnormal. So they do it in court proceedings too, where one person starts with direct and then cross and then make a rebuttal. And then you're just keeping track of each time this person gets up.
And I do know that in the community room, they do have a timer. They have a huge timer, so, they can show us how to use that.
Thanks.
And then the last thing is something that the board talked about discussing anyways, which is the dismissal, whether or not applicant could dismiss. So we're gonna have to update our policies and procedures with some things. Just because we're, almost 2 years in, we've seen some kinks, it's time to iron them out. That's one of them. This issue came up because, as you all know, several of the complainants in one of the cases would like to dismiss their complaint. The question for the board is, when a complainant wants to dismiss their complaint, do they have or should they have the authority to do so? And at that point, it would divest the board of any further investigations. Or are they no longer able to dismiss their own claim and the board can move forward? I did ask Mr. Casper his opinion again, because his opinion a lot of these hearings. His opinion is there should be no hard and fast rule. It should be a case by case basis. And just like the prosecutors, if you all feel that after reading the complaint, if the complainant does not want to move forward, it's not something that the board needs to pursue, then you have the right to dismiss it. Or they have a right to dismiss it. If it's something that you feel that the complainant want to dismiss for a reason and the board feels like, no, we want to move forward with this, we believe it's an ethical violation or whatever reason, the board can choose to do that. So that was his suggestion.
Thank you.
Any other things that we discuss?
I would ask the board for some guidance in regards to that dismissal issue, because I did convey to a complainant that I would follow up with that complainant on whether or not they have the ability to dismiss their own complaint or not. And whatever the board decides on, I will make sure it is updated in our policies and procedures, so there's an understanding for all complainants.
I think I agree with Mr. Castle. I don't think it should be a hard, fast rule for all complainants going forward. I think it should be a matter of the seriousness or whatever we deem it to be of concern and why one should proceed and one shouldn't.
So that would be the rule, that the rule would simply state that once the complaint is filed, the dismissal of the complaint will be at the board.
I would agree with that. And do we need to make a decision specifically this particular case? Or have we already made the?
Actually,
Make a decision.
I think we need it since they specifically requested it. And I think that once a complainant requested, I believe the board would need to discuss whether or not they want to dismiss it and vote on it.
That discussion happening tonight.
It does not have to, if we can table that for our next meeting, because we don't have that hearing set until October. So if you want to table that for our September meeting, then you can, but I will say if we do decide to table it, there are certain things that like subpoenas that need to go out for the October meeting.
Right.
We meet on the, second Tuesday?
Yeah, so it's September 10th.
Mm-hmm. So 1 month, 1 month is still a decent time if you would like to table it. And I think somebody would just have to make a motion to either call a vote to the floor or to table it.
I don't vote to table it. I think it's been an ongoing conversation for 2 meetings, and I think we should go ahead and resolve it.
Yeah.
So I don't think it needs to be tabled unless the chair decides otherwise.
I agree.
So then you make a motion.
To what? Proceed with this case, because that's what I would motion. I do. I make a motion to proceed with the case as it stands, and the reason I believe it should proceed. Do I have
Which case?
The
But
Judge
coming,
Doe.
The John Doe versus Ramirez case. I think it should proceed because of the nature of the complaint.
I second that motion.
Yeah, when we're talking about inappropriate perhaps relationships, I think that should be determined.
So what I'm understanding is that motion has been made by,
Alicia Harrell,
Ms. Go ahead. Yes, ma'am. Motion made by Ms. Arrow, second by Lauren Smith. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Vote. I'm sorry about that.
Yes, Chair, it was unanimous.
Such.
I believe that's all the updates I have for you, Chair, if, or board, if you all don't have any further questions.
All right, thank you. Attorney, there's no need for us to go into any general or executive sessions.
I don't believe so.
All right, if I can get a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting. I second it.
Warner, second,
Lauren Smith. Aye.
Smith. Let's vote. Just adjourn. I will be there, give me about 20 minutes. I will be there, sign the paperwork.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, have a good night.
Thank you. Have a good night.